In this video, we will be seeing a Java program in which we are going to use a method. So in this video, we are seeing how to write a method, the syntax for writing method, and also how to call it in main method. So let's start with the syntax of method. So method in Java is nothing but the member function. So the function which is written within the class, it's called member function, and we also call it as method in Java. So member function or method is nothing but block of statements. It's block of statements which when executed will perform some specific task. So method or member function is nothing but some block of statements which when executed will perform some specific task. So we write it within a block and we give it a name, also return type. So syntax for writing method or member function in Java is return type, which will be one of the predefined data types. So the return type we will be writing. Return type here is nothing but the result type. What type of result the method is going to return, that we will be specifying using this return type here. And this return type can be any of the data types provided by Java. Then we write the method name or member function name, and then we write parenthesis. So whenever we use method or method name, beside the name compulsory we write parenthesis if it is a method. And within this parenthesis, we write the parameters. So parameters are nothing but for this parameters, we will be taking the user input values. So whenever we want some user input to be substituted within method, so for that, we can here in the place of parameters have some declarations for which we can take the user input values and we can then substitute that values in method. We can substitute those values in the method. So now we start the method body or method definition using the curly bracket, and also we close it within the using the closing curly bracket. And within this curly brackets, we write the executable statements, and these statements can be operations on variables or we can have logic according to what we want the program to do. So according to our requirement, we can write the executable statements within this method definition or body. So this is the syntax for writing the method. And now to execute. So whenever we write method, it will not get executed automatically. We need to call it. So wherever you want, in that place, you can call the method. You can call it in same class or from other classes. So to execute or invoke this method, the syntax is we use the object name. Object name, so in which class it is present, for that class we create the object, and that class object we use to access this method, and we will be accessing the method using the method name. And if it is having any parameters, if we are mentioning any parameters, for that parameters we will be giving the values here. So values for parameters we will be passing while calling the method, and then we end the method call with semicolon. So for calling the method, we use this syntax. And there may be some cases where when you don't require this object, at that time you may just use this method name along with the values for parameter. So this or this, both the ways you can call the method. So object you will not require when the method is static in the same class. When you are using it from static context, then you may not require the object. And also you will not require the object when in the same class from other method you are calling this method. So uh, there may be situations where you don't require object. So at that time, directly method name along with the values for parameters you can pass and call the method. Now let's write here a method. So a method I'm writing here within the same class test, in which main method is also present. So here I'm creating a method. So return type I'm giving void for now. Void means void. Void means empty. The result set is empty. The method is not going to return any result. And the method name I'm giving here display for now, and I'm not taking any parameters. And here I will be using system.out.println, a simple statement. I'm using println statement, which is going to print a simple string like welcome to computer and code. So just this I am printing on the output screen using this method. Now suppose if I run or execute the program, I will not get any output. So I'm not getting any output because there is nothing present in the main. And also this method is not displaying anything because it is not executed. Now suppose I write some string in some statement in the main, like if I write here hi, I am going to print hi from main, not the method but from the main method. So if I now run, I get on the output screen the output as hi. So what is present in main is getting executed, but what is outside main method is not getting executed. Now I want to execute this display. So if I declare it as static, static means it is not bounded with objects. So no need of creating object. So I can just use the method name along with parenthesis and semicolon to end the call. So this is called method call or member function call. So we are calling here the method. Now if I run, I'm going to get in the output welcome to computer and code also, and this is displayed using the display method. So this is got executed when I called the method display here, and we got the output as welcome to computer and code. So this way method got executed. Now let's see a method where we are going to take a return type. So before taking return type, let's here write a parameter. I'm taking a string parameter and message I'm giving. And instead of giving directly message here, let's give this as input while calling. So here I'm going to substitute msg. So this message we can give anything, not just that, anything we can give. So here I'm passing at the time of method call welcome to computer and code. So this will be this string will get substituted in place of this msg, and this will be substituted here, and it is going to print on screen the message which we pass at the time of method call. So now if I run, I get the same output, but this is the output which I have given. This is the user input which I have given to the msg variable of type string. Now you can give some other message also here, like just computer and code. So if I now run, I get only computer and code. So whatever the input we are passing, the same will be displayed by this method. Now if I call this method, we can call this method any number of times where and from wherever we want. So I have called it 4 times, and 4 times 4 different things I'm going to give. So here hi, and here I'll give hello, and here I give bye. So when I give like this 4 different messages I'm giving. Now for now I'm removing this hi, which is displayed using main method. So display 4 times I have called in the main. And when I run now, I get 4 different strings displayed using a single method display. So same method is displaying 4 different messages which are passed 4 different times while calling the method here. So not just from main, you can call these methods from other method also in the same class. Like here I'm taking a method, the method name I'll call dcall. Let's take display call. And here I'm going to place the display. So if I call this method, then only this method is going to get executed. So now if I now call this in main, the condition here is we can call this display from anywhere, but directly or indirectly it should be present in main, the link to the function call. So here this d call or display d underscore call, let's take. So this we are calling it, and now let's make this also static, otherwise we need to create an object to call it. So dcall, I have called only one method, but it is calling this dcall, and in this we are calling these 4 times. So I get the same output now again. So this way we can have method with parameter. You can have different types of parameters. You can have an integer parameter also here. So here it was string. Now if I'll take integer ID, suppose, so and display I'm calling. Now you can see we got error. The method int in the type test is not applicable because we are giving string here. We need to pass a integer value. So I'm now passing 4 integers, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I will be displaying ID. So you can see here, and when I run now, I get 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this method where we are calling all these 4 methods, there we can also have some other statement, like I can have here IDs are, and then we can print 4 IDs like this. IDs are. So these IDs are printed using dcall method, and this is the 4 IDs we are getting printed using the display method. And finally, we are calling dcall in main. So this way we can have different types of parameters. Now, if I change the return type like int, then method must return some integer. So let's return here. Let's modify the ID as ID plus 10. We are going to add 10 to every ID which it is going to have. So we are returning ID plus 10. It is going to print the ID as it is, plus also it is returning ID plus 10. So when we are returning something, you can directly have the method call within a println statement like this, so that the return result is printed by the println. So whatever the method is returning after execution, it is going to print that also. So now when I run, whatever the method is returning, that is 1 is printed by the method and returning 1 plus 10. So 11 is also printed using this println. Same way 2 and then 12 is printed using this println. 12, 11, 12, 13 and 14. These 4 are the return results. So this way you can use the return result. So when you want the return result only for single use, this way you can print. Otherwise, if you want to use it later in the program also, then you can here create a variable and hold the return result in this variable like this. So only for single time I'm calling the method for now. So we can hold the result which is returned by this display in this variable, and then you can use this variable in different ways in different places in your program, like here returned result I'm printing, and that is present in res. So in this res we are holding the return result by calling it and assigning it to res. By calling the method and assigning to res, we are assigning the method call to res variable here, which is of type integer, and we are printing the same here. So when I run, I get 1 and return result 11. So this way we can use method with return type, without return type, and with parameter, without parameter. And now let's remove this static and let's create object to access this. So class is test, object I'm creating, and using the object I need to call this decall. And one thing you can observe here, I did not use object while calling here display one. That is because decall present in the same class test, and this class members it can use it without object. Here also we can use it, but because it is declared static, from static context the class members can be accessed only using the object. So that is the reason we are using object here. But here you don't require, it is not static, so we don't require. If I declare this also static, then here you require object. Cannot make a static reference to non-static, surround with try catch or change display to static, or here non-static method from type test. So here if you use object like this, like suppose I create here also object and use this object, then the error will go. So if I use object, the error will be going. But from static context, non-static members cannot be accessed without object. So here I'm removing the object. So this way we can call the static and non-static methods. Static will not require object, non-static will require object, and from static context, non-static members will require object. So this is how we can use method and we can call methods.